Good evening, and thank you for being here. Today, as we study in our chosen field, there are not many that can truly relate back to the Bible and how the past truly affects the generations that have come and gone and the effects that their sins have on the current generations. Genetics and psychology. The fact that the Bible talks about the past generation's sins will be passed to the future generations until someone finds a way or decides to break the cycle of self-sabotage. Doctors for many years have talked about how your family genetics can determine your future health outcome. However, over the years, not many doctors have talked much about how the genetics can affect the human behavior. Why not? Why can the mind, just like the heart, not be tracked through the family genetics and behavior? As an example of this, we're going to talk about how one day a little boy goes in and he asks his mother, "Mom, why is it that you cut the end off of the ham?" And the mother responds, I don't know. That's just something that I've always done because my mother did it. So the little boy goes to his grandmother and asks the same thing. And she said, because my mother did it. Well, the boy later found out that the reason why the family does this is because many years ago they began cutting the end off of the ham in order to make it fit into the pan because pans were made smaller than what they are now. Now, you're asking yourself, what is the point? What is the point that I'm trying to make to you today? The point that I'm trying to make is the fact that without even knowing what we're doing, our genetic makeup and what we have learned from the past determines a lot of how we act without even questioning why. We don't even ask or question why we act or do the things that we do. Daily, we act in ways that we don't understand ourselves. In the genetics process, in studying the genetics, one does what's called a family mapping. And by doing a family mapping, you can actually follow the history of not just your parents, but your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, and your brothers and your sisters. And by doing this, a lot of times in simply one session, you can always learn how you have picked up your behavior and break it in one session. There's a lot of times in one session that you can have a breakthrough and determine what is causing your behavior, what is causing you to self-sabotage. Even in the Bible, it states that the generations before us, our ancestors, the sins of their wages will continue to plague the future generations until our sins are confessed and the soul is redeemed. And then, and only then, can we break the cycle of genetic behavior. Many people don't even realize how genetics and the brain affect your normal health. By not being able to let go and move on from your genetic illnesses, your physical health can be affected as well. Once you open the doors and break the cycle of your genetic illness on the mind and in the mind, many times people are healed of physical ailments and their health improves. In conclusion to this, when you are unable to look at yourself and determine, why am I doing or why am I behaving the way that I am, sit down and do a family mapping. Sit down and write down your family and your family's history and the behavior that has plagued your family. With that, you will be able to unlock the key. You will give yourself the key to unlock your own self-sabotage. Thank you for being here this evening. I appreciate it.